Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Lui Piluso and I specialize in music production, songwriting, and I'm a sound engineer and I do mixes, recording, and mastering. This is my quite new YouTube channel where I teach music production and I do gear reviews. So please make sure to subscribe if you are interested in those kind of topics. And today we're going to be checking out the lovely Audeze MM-500. One thing that most professional sound engineers are nowadays using this brand, Audeze, and they are very, very high level. They are not cheap headphones at all. They're not going to be your first headphones, but if you're looking for something that is really going to be top quality, I really encourage you to check out this review because we're going to be talking about the specifications, and also I'm going to be giving you my opinion of how it sounds after using them for several months, and also from my whole career using different kinds of tools and headphones and monitors. So before we start, please make sure to subscribe, click the like button, leave me a comment and show your support if you like this kind of content. These are the MM500s. They are the headphones that they designed together with Manny Marroquin, that he's one of the top mixers in the world practically for the last 30 years or something. And he's a mixer that is based in LA, but he was born in Guatemala and he's been working with everybody in all kinds of music genres, from Taylor Swift to Rihanna to Sia, Bruno Mars, Kanye, Alicia Keys, Maroon 5, and many, many others. And he has already collaborated with different brands such as Waves. You probably have, if you're watching this, you probably have tried his plugins. And now he's come up with this collaboration with Audeze. I was very, very excited to try them out and to have them because he's literally one of my favorite mixers in the whole world. I love his sound. He has a quality that I really like, is that he designs products that he wants to use. So whatever he wants to use, I think is going to be probably a very good option and we should check them out. So if you already know who he is, please leave me below in a comment what's your favorite song that he has mixed or been a part of. So regarding the design and construction, this pair of headphones weigh almost half a kilo. So it's like 495 grams. And that's something that Manny actually wanted to do because the other headphones from Audeze's line are way heavier. So he wanted something that could allow him to mix for several hours without getting any kind of neck ache or headache or anything like that, or fatigue, only because of having like a heavy weighted driver right in your ear. That actually is the reason why they sound so good. So they were very clever in redesigning this. So they are smaller headphones regarding the models before. So you actually feel them more like headphones, and the other ones are bigger. So maybe you feel like they are part of the room, and they are open back. So that means that they are very good for mixing and mastering. I also love to use them for recording, not for the moment when I'm pressing record, but when I'm trying to decide where I'm going to put my mic and I want to listen to really detailed nuances and I want to put the microphone right in the right place. You really have to have a good sound system, and you can't be moving the mic and listening to your speakers at the same time because you're not going to be in the sweet spot. So having something like this feels like having really top-end speakers. So yeah, I strongly recommend for the recording part as well before you press record. And the reason why you don't want to use them while you are recording is in case you're using a click track, like they are open back, so the click will come out from a headphone and will probably spill into your microphone, and you don't want that. They also have a low impedance. That means that they can work with any console, any recording interface, and laptops. Even though they are designed for top quality production in studios, I strongly recommend them as well for listening to music because they are very pleasurable. So if somebody has disposable income of this amount, they'll have a lot of pleasure listening to the favorite records and vinyls with these. So let's get into the specs. So it features a 90mm driver, that is what produces the sound, featuring phaser, fluxer and uniforce. And the benefits of this, that you're like, What the hell are those things? Well, those things mean the following. The Uniforce thin coil and ultra thin diaphragm offer dramatically reduced distortion under all loads. The phaser waveguides deliver accurate phase and frequency response for predictable, reliable results. The fluxer magnets provide high efficiency, low impedance drivers compatible with a wide range of equipment and power levels. So the improvements from the previous models are not only that they are less than half a kilo in weight, but also they have added this leather band that allows for like an even distribution. They are a bit funny with this kind of thing pointing out, and you look kind of like an alien, but I like quirky equipment, so I really don't mind that. And also they have new ear pads that give you a way better bass response. So let's have a little read at the specs and let's talk about that. So the style of headphone is open back, like I mentioned before. The housing material is aluminium. The transducer type is a planar magnetic. The magnetic structure is fluxer. And the magnet rate phase alignment is the phaser. The magnet type is neodymium number 50. The diaphragm type is ultra thin Uniforce. The transducer size, that is the size of the speaker, is 90 millimeters. The maximum power that it can handle is 5 watts RMS. The maximum SPL is above 130, which is crazy. And listen to this, the frequency response is from 5 Hertz to 50,000. That's way beyond our listening capabilities. That allows it not to have any kind of weird cutoffs in different places. And the impedance is of 18 ohms. So I'm going to give you a little bit of my opinion now of how it feels, because there's no way you can hear these headphones from YouTube. So I'll tell you my experience. I already had them for a couple of months, and I've already been working in the music industry for more than 10 years. So I have tried no end of different kinds of headphones and types of gear. So let's start by the stereo image. This feels like really good. You sometimes feel like the sound is kind of surround, even though it's not. So you can really feel like things coming from behind you. It feels a little bit more from behind than from the front. You also feel like the frequency response is very similar to speakers, because in speakers you feel like the low end comes from the ground and the top end comes from above. And normally in headphones everything comes from the same place and everything's a bit masked and muddy. So I think this one's really give you that spread frequency response that is really good and feels like real speakers. The separation from the instruments is wonderful. I can really get into detailed things without things masking one another. Now let's talk about the frequency response. So the frequency response is not flat, because no speaker or headphone or microphone are completely flat. But they are as flat as they could be. Because like I said before, I have lots of different headphones at my studio. I don't have any kind of exclusivity with any kind of brand. So normally when one is mixing with headphones, I kind of use a software called Sound ID that is from Sonarworks. That is great for headphones because it'll correct the frequency response and give you something that's supposed to be flat. I don't trust it 100%, but I do mix between both things and I try to listen to it with the correction. And these are the ones that they had to do the less amount of correction possible, which I loved, because once you engage and disengage the Sound ID, of course you can tell the difference, but it's not as large as other headphones. So if you don't have that kind of software, there's no problem. You can absolutely mix with it. You don't have any kind of harsh mid-range frequencies that normally feel like that and they pierce your ear, and so these ones don't have that. They have very silky top end and the bass response is fantastic. So regarding the bass response, if you don't put the software that corrects the frequency response, you get not so many sub frequencies. So the software kind of corrects that. Then when we're talking about the low mids, this has a little increment there. So it feels like fat headphones, like a nice, fat, comfortable sound. Once you use the software, it kind of tames it a little bit and then puts it a little bit down. And then the high mids, like I just mentioned, they don't pierce your ear and they're not uncomfortable to listen to, because you can listen and work on these headphones for a very long time. without having any kind of problems. And then the high frequencies are very, very smooth, which I absolutely love. They're not fake, and you can really, really work on them. I find them really good, these headphones, to be able to tell when a vocal is too loud or when it's not. And you can really shape things around, and you can hear every instrument completely separate. The headphones come with this little cable. That is a mini XLR of 4 pins. This kind of cables only come with expensive and high-end headphones normally. And it's a very expensive kind of cable. So if you got these headphones, please take care of this cable. The cable also comes with a very good connector, very good quality connector. It's quite large actually. And something that I would have loved for them to include that they didn't is another cable for a mini connection, for a mini plug. That will, for a 3.5 millimeter connector. That will allow me, since they are selling the product as a laptop headphone as well, you cannot plug this into a laptop, and if you want to put an adapter, you will end up with something huge. So I think that's something they could include for people who buy it. And for people who love the unboxing videos, here's a little bit of the unboxing of the product. So you can see how it ships, and you can also see it has a beautiful case, a really hard one. So you could actually take it on a plane without having to put it inside of a suitcase, and it will probably be just fine. Or you could swing it out of a window and it will probably work because it's really hard, really good quality casing. And inside of it comes a really neat and silky bag that I just love how it feels. That you can take anywhere and just put your headphones there if you don't want to take the big case with you. Again, and I'll criticize again that I would actually have preferred to have another cable, to have 2 cables instead of having all of that fancy casing. But I don't know, that's something that would have been very nice, because now one has to go and buy another cable, which if you check online, those kind of cables are not cheap at all. So let's talk about quality and pricing. So these headphones are about $1,700, depending of where you're buying them. And that's a very high price for headphones. Like I mentioned before, these are not for beginners, or, I mean, maybe they are for people with money that have disposable income, but they're actually for audio professionals and for people who have to do very high-end work and need to have the best quality possible, because you just have to deliver. So actually, the money doesn't matter as much when you have those kind of things going on, and you cannot sacrifice your work quality because of not spending a bit more on headphones. And something that I really enjoyed about this ones is that when I'm mixing with these, and I take them off and I go to listen to my speakers, I don't feel like that I have more frequency range or things that I was missing out. I feel like it's exactly the same. So for people who don't have a proper studio with good acoustic treatment, and maybe they are on the move all the time, I think that investing in this kind of headphones can go a very long way, and you have good headphones for all of your life. And there you have it. That's my review of the Audeze MM-500. I hope you enjoyed that. Leave me a comment with what you think about them. Have you tried them? And also let me know what other headphones from the same brand you would like me to review, and of other brands as well. So my name is Lui Piluso. Don't forget to subscribe. It really means a lot. I do need your support to grow this channel, and I'm more than happy to teach everything I know. I'll leave you another video on the screen so you can carry on watching. Till next time, goodbye.